Let's talk about it. Uh, let's speak on it. The shock and awe that's going on throughout the world was really rampant and really out of control once I saw this new Black Panther thing. I said, what? After Marvel made an announcement that they will not recast the role of Black Panther, they're like, we are not recasting the role of Black Panther. And it makes sense not to recast the role because year one is going to freak everybody out. And it's only going to bring negative response and rapport to everything. Now, from what I'm hearing, Amari Hardwick is going to be in Black Panther 2 as the focus is more the United States of America, as the sister is now trying to build an outreach program in Oakland where she runs into Amari Hardwick, who she's starting to fall in love with. And Amari Hardwick character was eventually going to try to manipulate to get some technology from her, mainly a Black Panther suit. Now, we just saw this in um, basically every villain movie there's ever been, but we just saw this in Wonder Woman 2. So now, Namor, we don't know if Amari Hardwick is going to be Namor. Okay? But reports are saying he's being interviewed for a role in the Black Panther franchise. And a lot of people have been leaking things out about this script. Now, if Amari Hardwick winds up being Namor, you know, that would kind of make a little bit more sense. Hmm. Well, now Shuri is supposed to fall in love with Amari Hardwick's character in the original early draft of the script. While she's in Oakland, she falls in love with an American, which was not her concern. And then there's this thing of she's trying to impress him. She's got a crush on him. The women were going to eat this up. Okay. It was like that Mary Jane TV show all over again. They're going to make that a big story, how the series trying to get him and all this stuff. And total sideshow as to what the real story is. And it's basically Wonder Woman 1984 all over again. Thanks, Christian. I appreciate that. Christian is the number one fan of this channel. Now, but I don't think they're not going to recast the role, which was going to upset a lot of people. But bringing in Amari Hardwick into the character arc of it, they basically have it as where he's a villain going to steal some technology from Siri. So we don't know what it is yet. Amari Hardwick's character is supposed to pretend to love Siri, to manipulate technology from Wakanda out of her. And she's so smitten because this is her first love. Why is this in the movie? I have no idea. What is eliminated now is the fact that Beyonce, who was supposed to be in the Black Panther movie, playing Storm, her arc is gone now. So that idea has been written out of the script. They told me completely. It was supposed to be a love triangle with T'Challa, Storm, and Lapita's character. Oh, that's just one part of the. That was just one part of the film. That's just one arc. We don't know. Remember, they just interviewed him. Now, he could be in the process of playing Namor, right? He could play Namor, and this could be all a spin. We don't know. We don't know if he got hired yet. Okay? The details were just leaked out subtly. Okay? Marvel's going to go and erase all this stuff off the internet. When I tell you they can wipe the internet, they can easily swipe the internet. It's what they do. They wipe the internet clean. That's right. And hit the Cash App up. Carcino's the name on the Cash App. I've earned it today. The Bucks have earned it. Karceno. Yep, we did it. Michael J. White is supposed to be in Creed as a not actually fighting, but like a trainer. They were saying Michael J. White was supposed to be Mr. T's son. I think it was a joke, but still, it was out there. Like he was Michael. I mean, like he was the son of. He was the son of. What's his name? Tom Brady's. Not Tom Brady. Jesus Christ! What I'm talking about? The son of Mr. T. Clubberlane. I said Tom Brady. Jesus Christ. No, I'm still tired. I mean, I just crashed out in the middle of the day. I mean, there have been so many script rewrites that you don't know which one is the right script. They just approved of a script. Because the thing is that what you guys didn't know, for even when they did Black Panther, they never signed Ryan Coogler to a contract. He didn't get a contract extension. The man had $1 billion movie. Okay, you made about 800 of 900 million in revenue, plus billions. Went way beyond the money you thought that film was gonna do. They thought it was gonna make hopefully 200, 300, maybe 400 million in revenue, and they made like double that and then some. It's still making money. The shocking part is it was making money than the first Avengers and the Infinity War. It was bringing in more money than that because it had less marketing and less theaters. And people were still getting high numbers of going back to watch it again and again and again. It was crushing those numbers from Infinity War. And Ryan Coogler didn't even get a contract extension. So what people didn't know is they were in negotiation for 2 years with Ryan Coogler. Since 2017 till now, he just signed a contract extension with Marvel. Now he's got like I think 3 to 4 year contract with Marvel. Chadwick Boseman, who played T'Challa, rest in peace to him. He actually was in a contract negotiation with Marvel to play Black. There was no contract. He was not contractually with Marvel anymore. He was in negotiations to return to play the Black Panther. Now, I'm not saying that they planned on not bringing Ryan Coogler or T'Challa back, or, you know, not saying that at all, because that's not the case. What I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, They weren't contracted. You would think that would get handled immediately. You know, when the Black Panther movie was done, they still had Chadwick Boseman for actually one more film, which was Endgame, and that was it. Endgame. That was his final movie with Marvel. Well, the thing is, when they did Infinity War, he was just a small character because they filmed Black Panther and Infinity War at the same time. So when they did the movies, they both counteracted with each other. So Black Panther was coming out first. It was in the stages early on. So when they had just filmed the Black Panther movie, it hadn't been released yet, and they were in Infinity War mode. So a lot of those actors went straight into Infinity War. They had just wrapped probably about a month, and they were still filming some scenes. So when it came to the Wakanda scene, and they were filming that, they wanted to get some of the people in there, and the directors was different. The actors became the directors because they were like, well, what are some of the things that you guys did on Black Panther? You know, let's say some of these chants and things that weren't in the movie they put into the trailer of this one. Things that were cut out that they didn't chance that they did, like Mumbai, boom, Mumbai. You know, that was not in the original one, but it was supposed to be in the original Black Panther movie. But they didn't know Black Panther was going to be a monumental success and do what it did. Other than that, T'Challa would have had a much bigger role in Infinity War. No, he had a 4 movie deal. He had a 4 movie deal with a negotiation on the table for more films. Yeah, it was crazy, man. The times were a lot different. No, I think they're gonna use the introduction into the Marvel characters or the Fox characters. They might use the television series to introduce them to ease the people into them, some of them, and then to bridge them into film. I think the Doctor Strange movie might be the first introduction film wise into the Doctor Doom, which would lead into the Doctor Doom movie that they're working on. My thing is this: I am tired of seeing the Fantastic Four. The Fantastic Four then had about 5 movies, if not 6. They got a whole Avenger franchise. They got more movies than the Avengers, and they seem to be centered around the same thing. I'm like, if I see, it's like making another Spider-Man, and they showing him getting bit by the spider. I'm like, if I see that one more time, we don't need to see him get bit by the spider, okay? We already know that he's Spider-Man. Let's move on. We don't need Uncle Ben. We've seen Uncle Ben. Let's get to the nitty gritty. That's the only thing that went wrong with the Amazing Spider-Man. The Amazing Spider-Man first film, the only mistake that they made was they advertised that the Spider-Man you never heard about, like all the new details that you never knew about. Because in the comic books, there was always two. There was the Amazing Spider-Man, and then there was Spider-Man. So the Amazing Spider-Man, to me, was my favorite. I liked it better than Spider-Man. The Amazing Spider-Man had more villains, like all the villains that you wanted to see, like the Sinister Six. Um, he had his friends with him. It was more action going on in there, where Spider-Man was more drama and centered to just be around him. Namor, it makes sense. If Namor is the villain, I mean, that makes sense. But we don't know if Amari Hardwick is playing Namor, or is he going to be this new Black Panther? Because in the original script, they're saying he's playing a character that Shuri falls in love with, but he doesn't really love her. He just wants to get Wakanda tech. We don't know if that's the Black Panther suit or some new thing she created. And he's trying to manipulate her feelings into getting this for himself. Now, once again, we don't even know if he's been casted. The reports are like this is a leak, and Marvel is going to be the first ones to clean this up. Now, if Amari Hardwick plays Namor, then I can see that also making sense. Yeah, and that never made sense to me how Namor could drown. I'm quite sure they'll have something like that in this when they do it, but to me, it's like, how do you drown Namor? A Doctor Doom movie would be awesome. Well, see, here's the thing. The Doctor Doom story keeps getting told, and it's all about his love for Sue Storm, and Reed Richards ends up taking her from him. He gets all these superpowers. He goes into space, and he becomes Doctor Doom. They become the Fantastic Four. Ben Grimm, he suffers the worst out of it more than anybody. Here's my thing. They did the first two with the rise of the Silver Surfer and all of these different things, and I didn't think it was that bad of a movie. They just didn't have a budget. Fox didn't know how to put this together. They really didn't. The CGI for the Silver Surfer, I thought was great. And they spent a lot of their money trying to make the Silver Surfer that. Vin Diesel was supposed to be the Silver Surfer. A lot of y'all didn't know that. Yo, I work for Galactus, and we need two position drivers. Those who don't lose. Yeah, Vin Diesel was hired to be the Silver Surfer, and they could not agree on certain things Vin Diesel was supposed to do to be the Silver Surfer. So he ended up quitting. So as they disagreed and he ended up quitting to being the Silver Surfer, it was a big mess, a big fallout, and then things changed. And he wasn't the Silver Surfer no more. and they went with a computer and digital process, which would work 10 times better. It was like, look, let's just hire one actor that normally is the best actor for the role. I forget his name, but he's played this role 1,000 times. He played in Hellboy. He played a character in everyone. He was in The Shape of Water. He played the fish guy. He's always in these type of movies. Pan Lathering. He's the best costume design character you ever want to see. I forgot his name, and forgive me for that, because he's greatness. And he was the voice of the Silver Surfer. He was the body image that they used. He had it down to perfection. He's the Andy Serkis before. Now we all know who Andy Serkis is, but he was Andy Serkis before that. The Human Torch, he couldn't deal with the Silver Surfer at all. They came and grabbed him like, oh no 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 no. You guys misunderstand what I'm saying. He did all the dialogue. Lawrence Fishburne did a voice double, and they put Lawrence Fishburne voice in there because the guy is from England. But I'm saying he's the body. He's the CGI guy they used to make the Silver Surfer. Did all the moves. Yeah, this guy is legendary. Like he's known. Like we know Andy Serkis for all the characters he's played. He's way beyond what Andy Serkis was. We just know Andy Serkis because all his characters became so iconic. That's his name, Doug Jones. Doug Jones is the best character actor there was. Period. The man of many faces. He was in Star Trek, Discovery, everything. That's Doug Jones. Played him. It's the body image for the Silver Surfer. So what Andy Serkis does, he's able to bring characters to life. Well, Andy does a lot of CGI work. He does a lot of costume work. I mean, Craven the Hunter is someone they could bring in. Like they wanted The Rock to play Craven the Hunter before, but he was doing Hercules at the time, and they kind of felt like he's already kind of done that. Plus, working with him is like a bit of a problem. And Craven the Hunter was actually more than less. His character was based off of Craven the Hunter's character was mostly based off of you know the guy that M'Baku. M'Baku did a lot of things Craven the Hunter did. So M'Baku embodied a lot of the acts that Craven the Hunter did in all of the films, with the strength of the Jabbar when he's lifting people up by his throat. Well, Marvel had a bunch of title roles. He was supposed to play Morbius for Sony. They tried to hire him to play Morbius, and then Moon Knight was on the table for Keanu Reeves to play Moon Knight. They've had so many roles for Keanu Reeves, and he kept turning them down, just like Jake Gyllenhaal. He was supposed to be Doctor Strange. He was the original cast and their choice for Doctor Strange. When they made Doctor Strange, Jake Gyllenhaal was the person that they put the picture and drew the costume on and everything and said, that's Doctor Strange. More than Cumberbatch. They didn't think they could get Cumberbatch to play it, but they thought they can get, you know. And the thing is, at the time, serious actors didn't take Marvel movies as to them, that wasn't acting. That was like a show. Yeah, it's going to make a lot of money, but they were serious about the art. And they were like, we want to be respected. I don't want to wear leotards and shoot lasers out of my eyes. And yeah, I'm going to make some money doing it, but I won't be respected from my craft by my peers. Um, Now that's gone. They like, my movies aren't selling right now. My artsy fartsy movies not selling. How long do I gotta be in this suit? so so they changed. Well, the thing is, the the worst casting for the role in probably Marvel history would be the recasting of Mystique with Jennifer Lawrence. Early on, it seemed like a great pick to pick Jennifer Lawrence for the role. I mean, she slept with some people to get there, but hey, it is what it is. Natalie Portman's character, the first movie was great. Her character made sense. The second movie she was forced to do it. Those are the two worst characters probably in Marvel history, and they just happen to be women because they were contractually stuck playing something they didn't want to do anymore. The Hunger Games became a much bigger success than the X-Men film and made her into a star. So now she don't need the X-Men no more, and she don't need to be in 6, 7 hours doing makeup. Something an actor would have to do to play the role of Mystique. You got to go through a long process of putting all the makeup on, then you got to take all the makeup off, and it's really, really tedious. And so it's a big, tedious process, but they don't want it, you know. And I mean, well, she didn't want it, and that caused a lot of problems for a lot of people on the set, and everything went left. Megan Fox, no, I don't want Megan Fox playing no type of Mystique or action movie. No. Well, to play a younger version of it, it wasn't her acting. She did a great job playing the role. Her problem in playing the role was simple. When she decided to play the actual part and take on the role, she didn't want to do it anymore. Like she didn't want to do the last film that they did. She didn't want to do the third one. And that was a problem, and I was like, she's killing the franchise because she doesn't want to participate. She doesn't want to do it anymore. And now they had to make an agreement to where she wasn't going to be Mystique. She's walking around as Raven again. It's like, look, they've already reached that hurdle to where you're destroying the first film when she accepts the fact of who she is. She's not hiding anymore from the public. So she was no longer walking around with her blonde hair and all this stuff that she's putting up. She wasn't walking around as Raven, the normal human looking girl. She was walking around as Mystique, all blue. She wasn't just turning into that when she was fighting. I'm just saying, when you have an actor, they have to be committed to the role. But they needed a big name like Jennifer Lawrence and attach her to it. But at the time when she signed she signed what, a three film deal with with Fox to do the X-Men series. Then she signed a 3 film deal to do the Hunger Games, and this was gonna get her paid because she did House at the End of the Street and that bombed. That didn't make any money, so she knew she had to get out there and get that bag. Uh, yeah, it got near her eye. I don't know if it got in it, but The name of the movie is Don't Look Up, and she shouldn't have looked up. No, I'm just saying, kidding. Yeah, she's gonna get a chunk of money for that. Well, hopefully she has a great recovery because, people get hurt on movie sets all the time. Like all the time. They're dangerous. We saw people lose their lives on movie sets just to make a film. Nothing worse than the Twilight Zone, the movie, when a guy was rescuing the kids. They still showed his scenes in the movie. All until where he's having like a flashback scene when he's carrying the two kids to safety, and they had a helicopter there, and the helicopter, like, it was some wires there, and it hit, and then it just knocked the power out, and the blades just came straight down, chopping, and I'm like, it cut all of them, the kids and him, like, immediately impaled, like, cut them, like, no problem. And the sad thing is, you see it on YouTube. They got this on YouTube now. Moon Knight is a character where he was in the Indian desert. You don't know if he believes he has real powers because he should have died. And it was like he was saved by this Indian thing overnight. And he felt was it, some people think he's mentally insane. He thinks he's like a superhero. So you have to figure out, is he mentally insane or is he a superhero? Yeah, but that was avoidable. That was an accident of them not having safety guys on the set. Now that's changed. Now they got safety guys on the set. People are doing what they do. Yeah, yeah. Overall, that was the best option. The best option to go at. So yeah, the transformer accident was crazy too. You've had that, and you've had somebody died doing the stuntman died doing Deadpool 2. So we might see Omega Red before it's all said and done, though. So that's just me talking. That's how I feel about it. But I think before it all ends, we'll see that happen. But let me get ready to start our. Yeah, I gotta get ready to go on Casino for Life. So let me go over here and get situated. I'm out.